So my father, Scott, and his friend Vernon Kay, they started the Bison back in 1996. They got their first animals. Dad, I think, bought a couple quarters here to start, and then they kind of grew the herd from there. So we've had it, 20 plus years now. So kind of got a good understanding of the industry and have been in it quite a while now. So we have about 120 breeding cows on the farm right now, plus yearlings and calves. So I would say in total, there's probably close to 400 animals on the farm. We raise our bison up to 2 years old, and then that year's crop of calves or animals is probably about 80 animals that we ship out. So we feedlot them all here on farm, finish them out, and then they all get shipped live from here down to Colorado to a slaughter plant there, and then marketed out throughout the States. Yeah, they're born here basically, and then they're with their mother till we wean them in usually November or January type thing, kind of that time frame. After they're weaned, we feed them out here until roughly May. Then they go out into pasture for the summer, and then we'll bring them back here. They'll kind of graze usually a cocktail crop or something we seed around here. And then once winter hits, hopefully we have these guys gone, and then they'll come in this pen, and then we can start feeding them in a feedlot type situation. We got really interested in soil health a few years ago, realizing that we need to protect our soils. Our soils are always eroding if you don't try to protect them and get some health back in them. So we looked at all the basic soil health principles, kind of see how we can improve it on the farm. And cover crops were they were always been around, but it's kind of a new thing to people, I think. Intriguing because you can see all these different cool plants and stuff. So we got into it, wanting to improve our soil, wanting to improve our water infiltration, our organic matter, get some cover on the soil, and try and get a little bit more crop, growth for the animals to graze on, and have that availability to them. So if we consult with a guy from Salt Coast, Saskatchewan, actually, who does a lot of work with cover crops and soil health and stuff like that, we kind of give him a game plan of each field for that year we want to plant, kind of based on some goals. If we want to graze it, if we want to bale it, if we want to get some compaction issues solved on it, if we want to address some moisture. And he kind of puts together a blend of seeds for us, and then we go and seed that. So I think in this field this year there was oats. Oats is basically the main bulk of it. And then there's Japanese millet, turnips, hairy vetch, sunflowers, and Italian ryegrass, I think, in there. So, but yeah, it depends year to year, but we can bank on getting a pretty good crop, other than this year when it's a little dry. But it's actually really helped us get a lot of feed, and high quality feed too. Yeah, so they'll eat anything out of it actually. We've planted turnips last year, and they got to like this big, and we don't fertilize them too, because it was just, we rely on this natural grazing, pooping and peeing on it for the fertilizer. But turnips got like that big, and they ate the turnips down to the ground, and they were pulling up the turnips. And but they get the thing about their cocktail crops is they get a variety, so they get to pick and choose what they like. So they might, depends on the different stages of growth of the plant. They might prefer the hairy vetch because it's nice and lush. It's like an alfalfa, or the oats. They always like the little kernels as they're coming out to nip off those, and they get to pick and choose what their kind of diet prefers at that kind of time. So for our cow herd in the pastures, we'll split a quarter into fours with electric fence, and we'll rotate them through each corner of that quarter, probably about a week at a time, and then that gives that corner a chance to rest for quite a while before they get back to it. So of the 3 quarters they graze, they'll split into, 12 paddocks, I guess. So it really helps the grass regrow again, get some rest on it, and then it doesn't pressure too hard, and they can move on to the next paddock. Yeah. We've really noticed an improvement since we started the electric fence. The grass really grows back a lot quicker with more vigor, and it just, you get a lot more grazing days into the year because it's not so pressured. Yeah. Bison are very self-sufficient. They're a very low maintenance animal. You never have to do anything with them except feed them in the winter. Especially calving, we don't do a single thing with them. We let them just do their thing in the field. You can't even hardly get near them or they'll just run away. And I think that's kind of a draw for people, a low maintenance animal, self-sustainable, they can do their thing. You don't have to worry about it. You can take a trip. You don't have to worry about them. Just feed them once a week kind of thing. That's all we do, is we feed them once a week in the winter, and they'll just eat and be fine. We don't bed them or nothing. So we do have watering bowls around here for in the winter. They prefer definitely well water, but off in the pastures they are on slough water and dugouts. Yeah. So we only handle the cows once a year when we wean them, and then we'll wean the cows. We'll vaccinate the cows at the same time, and then that's it for them. And then these guys, we usually handle them probably 2 or 3 times. Yeah, by the time we bring them back from pasture, handle them through, give them a deworm or something, and then put them here, and then we'll handle them again as we load them up. So these guys probably get handled 3 times in their lifetime, something like that. Yeah. We've kind of learned a lot over the years of how to handle them a little better and more efficiently, and just easier on the animals too, because you don't really want to handle buffalo a whole lot, just because it is hard on them. They're really susceptible to stress, so the less you can handle them, the better. Yeah. So. Yeah, no, I think it's definitely a growing market. I think it's just such a small market though, because I've heard a stat somewhere along the way where they slaughter more cattle in a day than they do a bison in a whole year. It's such a niche market really in the big picture. But I think it's just about getting public awareness out there that bison meat is one of the best proteins out there, and just to get that traction, to get people to buy it more. Yeah, no, you can find us at ccrbison.com. We have some information there about the farm. And we also have a Facebook page, Copper Creek Ranch. We're on Instagram. We're also on YouTube at Copper Creek Ranch too. I try to post videos if I can. I know it's been pretty busy, but yeah, I post a lot of videos about the farm and daily things on the farm.